Hey, so we got a chalk pack show today. Number one, we look at kind of what happened in the market today, and we had a good day yesterday. We had about $11,000 gain, and we gave pretty much all of it, well, all of it back. But there's a reason behind it. So we want to look at specifically what happened and kind of what we want to do and what our plan is. So overall, we're sitting around 152, relatively flat. Had a down day, recovered. Then yesterday, a monster day. This was yesterday. And then basically we're going to talk about the treasuries came out and it basically gave all that back. So you might be thinking, okay, what do we do? Are we in a bad trend or whatever? So we'll take a look at kind of some things overall. So initially, let's get the treasury yield, which basically the gist of it is this: is it's the borrowing cost. So they set mortgage rates on it. I'm actually doing a mortgage refi right now, and so it's kind of affecting that to a point. But the borrowing rate for a 10-year treasury is kind of the how they look at borrowing costs overall for banks and things like that. So it's been pretty low, and over the last few days it's gone up. Like I think it went up from like 0.9% to 1.46, and so what happened is basically the yield that you get from the, let's put it this way: the lower the rate is, if you're not getting a high rate on the treasury, then people say I need to get returns elsewhere, and so they go to the stock market or the bond market. But as the yields start to go up, people say, okay, well, I have certain clients or a certain percentage of my portfolio that I don't want to put in the stock market. If I have to, I will. But then the rates go up and they start to put more in treasuries. And the reason is, realistically, we're going to talk about that, is inflation. So 2 days ago, the yield went up, and take a look here. Oh, all right. 2 days ago, the yield went down and then recovered. Yesterday, or the yield went up and then our portfolio went down and recovered. Yesterday it bounced down, and so the stock market went up, and then today it went up again, and so the market went down. And so realistically, in order to get that down, basically when you're looking at a 10-year treasury, it's the cost of borrowing. So if everybody is out there clamoring for treasury notes, then the rate's going to be low because you don't have to pay them a whole lot, right? But when people stop buying treasury notes, then you have to pay a higher amount for the treasury note to get people to buy it. So it's like, all right, I'll pay you 1%. They're like, nah, I don't think so. What if I paid you 1.5? Well, I'll buy some. And so that's kind of what's going on. And so one of the things that's going to tamp it down is, ironically, borrowing. And so what happened is, if the amount of inflation, and we talk about the jobless benefits that came out today were lower than they thought. If they view that as being something that negates the official inflation number, which by the way is total crock, um, then when the inflation goes down, the treasuries usually go up. And so the thing that'll offset it is borrowing. So one of the things that you'll see here is in the next probably a week or two, hopefully we'll see, the Democrats are going to put a $1.9 trillion. It says a COVID relief bill, but I mean, a lot of it, if you look at it, a lot of it doesn't have to do with COVID relief. A lot of it's bailing out big blue cities, and there's stuff that honestly, literally, is not allowed to be spent for like 3 or 4 years. Um, so that's going to be there. There's going to be stuff for infrastructure, and I think there's still going to be $1,400 checks, which is so stupid. Just pay the 2,000. Biden's sitting here trying to justify this $1,400 check, and he's getting hit from all sides on it. I just don't get why you just make it 2,000, end the debate, move on. You're already spending 2 trillion. I mean, I don't really get what the difference is. And you own the Congress, like you can run the House, and you can get stuff past the Senate, and you sign it. I just don't get it. It's totally an unforced error, and I don't get why they're doing that. But once that goes through, you're going to see inflation go up. And when inflation goes up, I mean, to pay for this and borrowing, they have to issue treasuries. And so it's going to actually push the treasury rate down. So, and I was talking to my mortgage guy today, and he's like, well, if it goes through, and I'm like, are you kidding me? The bill's going through. It's just a matter of what's in it. Like, do you want candy or do you want pasta? I mean, it's just like there's going to be stuff in it. You know, we don't know everything that's going to be in the end, but it's like it's going to pass. Like that's not even a question. So, with that being said, we go to shopping days. Oops, let's close this out. So when you have a day like that, today is a shopping day. So today, I sold the GameStop that we had at 159. Basically, in the end, still made a little bit of a profit. So we move on. on that one. And then today, when the market went down, I went ahead and did a whole bunch of shopping today. So we bought another Hall of Fame stock. That's HOVF for 235. It ended about 230. So we priced that pretty well. And that leaves our cost basis at about 229, um, which is perfect. Our current, let me make sure, yeah, current price of it's 230. So we're set up. We have about $7,000 in it. And so when it goes up, we're going to have a bigger return monetarily wise when this stock moves up. Secondly, Next ID. This is a cyber security stock for the Internet of Things. It's been going up pretty fast and then retreated on its gains. So we looked at that, and these are the stocks that lost the most for the day. And we'll kind of AMC and GameStop. These are the ones that are kind of the Reddit stocks that have been going crazy the last couple days. So we did Next ID lost 18% today. It started off at 199, ended at 164, and we bought it at 176. It ended up at 164. So technically we could have bought it a little bit lower, but it's not too big of a deal. So we bought it at 176, and our current cost basis is at 149. Um, so we're still, in a really good cost basis. It's sitting at 164. We're a little over 10%, but we got 6 grand in it. I may put some more in it if it goes down a little bit, but I think we're in a good spot right now. Fubo, which has, by the way, Fubo, where is our Fubo guy, has a 100% buyer rating. So everything that I'm touting, the analysts believe the same thing. And so Fubo, take a look at movement for today, went down 17, 18% today, went down from $40 to $33. And with that being said, we bought it at 36. So technically we could have bought it a little bit lower, but I'm still happy with that. Um, so bought at 36, it's sitting at 33, and our cost basis is still at 40. So technically we could buy more again. And I was actually looking at doing that. But it would be the first stock that I own technically 5 figures in as a cost basis. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. We'll figure it out. If it has a down day tomorrow, I guess we're going to have our first 5 figure cost basis stock. But this one I'm definitely thrilled. And then when it goes up, it's going to go up pretty dramatically as far as a raw number. Future FinTech. All right, that one went down 23%, started at 657, went down to 510, and we bought it at 6. So technically, we probably could have got 90 more cents on it. But that really fell, where you don't see the most of it, is that fell mostly toward the end of the day, and I had already bought it. So with that being said, bought it at 6. Future FinTech is sitting at 654. So we still were able to lower our cost basis. It's sitting at 510 right now. Um, so that's one I'm actually considering buying more of if it has a little bit lesser day. And Palantir. So this one, I made the decision right here that we're going to sell this stock when it hits 28. And so it went down a little bit, and I just said, okay, what's going to help sell this stock is to lower that cost basis. So I bought it. Well, we'll take a look at Palantir here. Palantir went down 13% today. It went from 26.50 to about 23. And then we bought that at about 24.50. So not too bad. And we were able to lower the cost basis down to, where's Palantir? 2609. So when this goes back up to, when this goes from 23 to 26, we're just going to dump it. So the idea is buy it, lower the cost basis, and we want to get to hit zero faster. When it hits zero, that's where we're going to put this in. And so I actually need to change that sell price. So we'll go back in and update that as well, because it's not 28, it's 26 right now. And then recently I actually looked at it after the fact, and we looked at Fuel Cell, which is a Biden stock. It's an EV charging stock. And Fuel Cell went down 12%, went from 1812 to 1589. And this is an after hours trade yet to be done, hence it's in the yellow. So it's sitting at 1589. If it goes to 1450, it may or may not do that. We'll buy another 3 grand on it, and it should probably, 1450, it'll probably lower, where's Fuel Cell? Probably lower the cost basis down to about 1650-ish, 1675, somewhere around there. And that'll bring us almost to zero. So we're doing a really good job on that one. All right, so shopping day today. We'll take a look at tomorrow. Let's see what tomorrow looks like. Oh, that's coronavirus tracking. We'll look at that. It's still in the negative a little bit. We'll see what happens. But I'm committed to Definitely shopping if things go down a little bit further. We do have a nice little bullpen of stocks that we're going to consider as well. Um, but I went through each one of these and I wanted to really keep it in um, keep these as pure COVID stocks. So there's two other stocks we're considering selling: Corsair and Ellie's Gaming. Those are both video game component manufacturers. Corsair is a little bit in the red, so when that gets back up to, kind of where it needs to, I'll probably sell that, but we'll see. It's a great stock. I just want to really consolidate things into the travel, entertainment, and COVID, into the demand recovery stocks, as I'll call them. And then Ellie's Gaming as well. That one pops a lot too. We're still at 46%. I don't really own a whole lot into it, so we're going to leave that be as it is right now. Um, all right. With that being said, just look a little bit into COVID. Look at this. We went from 14% testing to 4.56, and a lot of people right now are suspecting that this massive drop in positivity is, and partially they're not even testing a whole lot of people anymore. So you have low amount of tests, low amount of percentage, which means there's not a lot of positive tests overall. Um, Means that we might be hitting herd immunity. So a combination of the vaccine for all the old people and the people that have had COVID and have a natural biological immunity to it. So with that being said, we're moving into the summer. We're going to start to see baseball start up. I have season tickets to the Padres, so hopefully get to go to a lot of games. We have movie theaters. They're all slated to release their blockbusters. Football said that they're going to have full stadiums in the fall, and the cruise lines are itching to go once they have confidence. As far as from vaccination, most of the people they're going on cruises are on the older side, so that's going to play into it. So, with that being said, the today like day we don't look at. Let's take a look here. So today, we lost money here, but we look at it as the shopping day, an opportunity to get these stocks low, because as much as we love the days where the stock's going to go up, we'll take a look at this right here, where the stocks go up. We understand there's going to be days when the stocks go down. So we try to sell at the end of these. If there's any stocks that we want to sell, take the gain, sell it. And then on days like this, we try to get as low as we can down here. I bought these stocks about right here during the day, and then buy them low. And then when you have days when it's going to go up, we'll take a look at the 3-month trend. I mean, that's your trend line, clear as day. So when the stocks go up on that trend line, we want to pack as much in those stocks as we can, increase our holdings, lower our cost basis, and make a crap load of money. So still so far, we're still, more than quadrupling our return. We have 112 overall gain. We're sitting at about 146,000. But the idea is we put more into this, lower the cost basis, and when the stock market goes up by 5%, the more we have in here at a lower cost basis at 5%, the more money we make. So with that being said, if you have any questions, any stocks you want me to evaluate, or any feedback, let me know. Other than that, we will see you tomorrow. But make sure you take a look at those, the futures, as late in the day as you can. If you wake up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, check the futures. And if you live on the East Coast, I live on the West Coast, so getting up at 6:40 is a pain. But if you get up on the East Coast before the market, you can definitely take a look at the futures. But have your bullpen set up, have your stocks that you're always going to look at. I like looking at this because it gives me a sense on what are the leaders that I want to buy. The day, we didn't really have any much of a gainer, so that really doesn't play too much. And then this just gives me a perspective if I'm seeing the same numbers and the same people on here as I saw before. But still, you look at 2-day, and there's a decent amount of money being made. So anyway, with that being said, we'll see you tomorrow. To get more information on the sales cheat code, go ahead and click on the subscribe button below. Also, down below in the video description, down there's a link that takes you to our website that gives you additional content, some additional freebies that we have, and gives you information on some programs that we have that have been proven to help people to make sales easy so that you can make the kind of money you want, live the lifestyle that you've always wanted, and not have to struggle in the process. And what might be the coolest thing of all is you don't have to put much effort into it. It truly is a cheat code that most people don't know about. And it's a cheat code that can change your life today. So click on the link below and let me help you start to experience these results starting right now.